What's up guys, it's Staff here, and in this video I'm just going to be going through some of my best tips and tricks for PvP in Minecraft, just for anyone who's curious. And at the end of the video I'm also going to be looking at my control settings, as well as some of my favorite texture packs that I use for PvP, also in case anyone is just wondering what I use personally. So without further ado, let's get into the first part of this PvP tips and tricks video. Alright, so for the first part of this video, I'm just going to be going over one of the most important aspects of PvP in Minecraft, and that is the fishing rod. Now, the fishing rod doesn't actually do any damage to opposing players, but it does serve to knock them back or stop their forward momentum. So, if an opponent is sprinting at you, let's say, you can use your fishing rod to hit them and knock them back, stopping their forward momentum, which will allow you to make it easier to start getting a combo on them. So fishing rods don't do damage, but they can help you start to get combos more easily, as well as knock opponents away in case you need to heal. Now, you can also use snowballs and eggs in place of fishing rods, such as when you're playing Sky Wars, for example, because they also do the same thing as fishing rods in that they knock back opposing players. The fishing rod is one of the most important aspects in high-level Minecraft player versus player. So that kind of covers the topic of fishing rods, and now we are going to get into the topic of bow spamming and bow locking. Alright, so another important aspect of Minecraft PvP is the bow. And I mean, that's pretty obvious why it's important, because it does damage and it's a long-range attack choice. So bow spamming is when you just continuously use your bow, even if you might be more inclined to melee. You just choose to, no matter what, use your bow over and over and over again, to the point where it probably will get annoying to your opponent, but that could be what you want. Now, if you are trying to bow spam and you do hit a lot of successive shots in a row, like one right after the other, right after the other, we call that a bow lock. And when you have someone in a bow lock, you're dealing a heart or so of damage, assuming they have pretty good armor, every time you hit them, and it's just really annoying for them. They keep taking damage, and they're going to have to either run away or somehow push through it with healing, or block up using wood or any other type of building block. And it's just a really good way to annoy your opponent, keep them at bay by using a bow, and it's just a really good tactic in PvP. But some people might find it annoying, but that's okay. Alright, so another important aspect of fighting another player in Minecraft is knowing when to back out and heal. It may be really tempting to just keep on meleeing someone because you might think, oh, I'm gonna be able to come back, I'm gonna be able to get a combo, but you should play it safe. If you think you need to heal, then get out of there. Now, there are a few good ways to kind of disengage an opponent. Like I said earlier, you can use a fishing rod as well as a bow to knock back your opponent and give yourself time to heal. But if that just doesn't work, you could simply run away, or another good tactic is to place your water bucket right beneath your feet, which will create a pool of water and make it really hard for your opponent to traverse because they have to swim slowly, and that'll give you a lot more time to heal. You could also use blocks to sort of build a wall if you need to heal from your opponent bowing you, but knowing when to heal is really important in PvP because, yes, maybe you would be able to get a comeback combo and beat your opponent, but the safer route is always a good one. Back out, heal up, get back to nearly full health, and then re-engage your opponent another time. Alright, so the next section of this video is just going to be me talking about what happens if you're being 2v1'd or fighting more than one person in general. So this is an unfortunate scenario, but it does happen a lot. And honestly, my best advice is to just not panic. You're going to want to rely a lot more on your fishing rod and your bow, as well as any sort of water bucket or blocks you may have, in order to keep enough distance between you and your opponents. You want to try and single one of them out if you can, so you can just take care of them as quickly as possible, so you don't have to focus on meleeing two people at once, because most of the time, if you are meleeing more than one person, you will lose. Now, obviously, there's no guaranteed solution to fighting more than one person, but these are just the tips that I find most helpful: is bow them back, fishing rod them back, try and blockade yourself if you can, and honestly just rely on your accuracy and rely on the hope that you'll be able to single one of them out, because if you can manage to kill one of them, then it's just right back to a normal 1v1 situation, and you can totally handle that. That is definitely doable. So that is my tips on handling fighting two or more people in Minecraft PvP. Alright, so now I just want to talk more about accuracy and hotkeying. I've gone over a lot of the basics for improving at Minecraft PvP, so all that's really left to talk about is just practicing and improving. Now, I've talked about trying to hit people with a fishing rod, with a bow, and that takes a lot of skill and accuracy if you want to land a lot of your hits, and that only comes through practice. Everyone is low on accuracy at the very start, and it's just a matter of practicing using a bow, practicing predicting people's strafes that they might use if they're trying to dodge an arrow, practicing switching to your fishing rod and hitting the person that's trying to rush at you before you go in for a melee. Practice, practice, practice. That's all I can really say. And after a while of practicing, you'll definitely see a lot of improvement in the accuracy of your bow shots, your fishing rod hits, and even your melee hits as well. And I also wanted to talk about hotkeying and scrolling. Now, switching between different items in your inventory, such as healing, lava, blocks, bow or fishing rod or sword, takes also a little bit of skill to be able to do it quickly without accidentally switching to the wrong item, which could make you take a little more damage because you need to take more time to switch to the correct item. Now, a lot of people use hotkeys, which is where you go into your controls and actually pick a certain key that will switch you to a certain spot in your hotbar. Default is just the number keys, so you press a number key and it switches to that spot in your hotbar. And you can practice a lot with hotkeying and set up your inventory how you like it, so you can hotkey to whatever you want to really quickly. Personally, for me though, I use a scroll wheel because that's just how I've done it for years, and I've gotten really good at scrolling to exactly what I want to scroll to very quickly. So I personally use a scroll wheel. I do sometimes use a hotkey for like my fishing rod or my healing, but most of the time I use a scroll wheel. So that's just what I wanted to say about accuracy and switching to different items in your inventory. Alright, so that pretty much concludes my tips and tricks for Minecraft PvP. So now I just wanted to go through my personal control settings as well as some of my favorite texture packs that I like to use. So as you can see here, I use the Lunar client, which is a client that helps for PvP in 1.7 and 1.8. I've noticed a lot of improvement since I started using it a few weeks ago. Not sponsored, but just wanted to talk a little bit about it. I really like it, so if you'd like to check it out, check out the Lunar client. But if we go here into my settings and look at my controls, we can see that I have my sensitivity here at 88. So let's look at the important controls here. My hotbar slots, I just keep as my numbers actually. So if I want a hotkey to one of my items in my hotbar, I just hit the number. Other people have it at different settings, but this is just what I choose to use it as personally. And inventory is E. My Lunar client menu, I have just a few things here, but that doesn't really play into PvP at all. So miscellaneous, I have toggle perspective, which is originally F5, which takes you into third person. I put it as G because I don't really know. It's just a really easy key to reach for me personally, so I like to use that. And zoom is an Optifine thing, which I have as my left control. Movement, jump is space. I have sneak as left shift. And normally sprint is, a lot of people know it as double tapping the W button, but I actually set it to R a few years back just because I find it really easy. It's right near my WASD keys, and I can just tap it really quick if I want to sprint, and I'm just really used to it. And I have WASD, just normal walking settings, and I believe that covers my controls that I use. My FOV currently is 91. It's been that way for a while. So yeah, and now I just want to go into some of my favorite resource packs. So here's my folder. I'm currently using Asahi Resource Pack by Ricardo, but I have a lot here. Deep Sky version 2, Dante's Green Pack, Dante's Mashup Pack, Engal's Mint Infinite Edit. I just have a lot of texture packs, so Huahui's Death Style I like to use. That's a classic for sure. And this is just kind of my texture pack list. I have some of Scope's old edits from a long time ago, so sometimes I like to use those. Same with Hotkeys packs, as well as Smacked's Light Blue pack I really like. And texture packs can be really helpful. They can help with FPS, and they can make it so if you catch on fire, it doesn't cover up the entire screen, which can be really annoying. And Dynamic Duo version 2 is also one of my favorite texture packs by far. It's just so clean. And you know what? The Team Apex Minecraft PvP pack, that's just a little throwback right there to like 2015, but that's my texture pack folder and my controls. So that will be that. Alright guys, that's going to be it for this PvP tips and tricks video. I hope you enjoyed, and if you were able to take something out of this video, be sure to leave a like and subscribe. It really does mean a lot. And obviously, I just want to say I am by far not the best PvPer. I am average, I would say. That's what I would classify myself as. But I feel like I can bring a lot to the table in terms of giving people some tips and tricks. So that's just what I wanted to do by making this video, and I really hope you enjoyed. So without further ado, I will see you all in my next video. Bye bye!